Hi beauties, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another video in my top 5 series. This is a new series on my channel. This is my second video, and based on your requests, today we're going to talk about my top 5 foundations. I'm going to go ahead and give the disclaimer that these are all high-end. I will at some point do a drugstore version of this video. I would like to go out and purchase a few more drugstore foundations because a lot of the ones that I have had for some time, and I want to test out some of the new things that they have on the market now. But these are all high-end because honestly, I don't have any drugstore foundations that can compete with the foundations that I've selected for today's video. So I just decided to keep them separate because I honestly love high-end foundation, and I sometimes use drugstore foundations, if that makes sense. And I do like a lot of drugstore foundations, but not as much as I love these 5 high-end foundations. Today, I'm not wearing any of these foundations because I wanted to try out some new makeup, and I'm wearing the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. This one is the shade Cadiz. So it's my first time trying it out, so it is not one of my favorites yet. Let me say that there are probably a lot of foundations that are out here on the market that I did not try when they launched that everyone talks about. Like there was one by Laura Mercier that I never tried. There's a new brand, a black-owned brand that is sold at Ulta, Uma Beauty, I believe. They talk about that foundation. I haven't tried it yet. The Fenty foundation, I didn't like how it accented my fine lines on my face, but she did come out with a different one, a more radiant one, and I never tried that one. So there are just a lot of foundations that are out here on the market that I know are really, really good that I just didn't get the chance to try. I like to use up my foundations because again, they expire so quickly. So I try to use them as much as possible before purchasing another one. I do purchase new ones, but I try not to have too many foundations because you will just never go through them all before they expire and start to smell funny. That's my disclaimer, that there may be some others that you guys love that I just haven't tried out, and be sure to leave them down in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going. Tell me what your favorite foundation is. Let me start off by saying it was really difficult to select 5 foundations. I may kick myself later and think, gosh, really? I had a tough time, but I did narrow it down, and here we go. My number 5 foundation is the YSL All Hours Foundation. This is a 24-hour foundation, up to 24 hours of wear, flawless matte. I'd heard so many good things about this foundation, and I was at the time really in love with the Dior Skin Forever, and they discontinued that one and came out with the matte and the radiant versions, and I still like those as well. But when I tried this YSL foundation, I fell in love with it even more than those foundations. And it just only requires 1 pump for me to get almost full coverage. Like I may have a couple of blemishes that aren't covered, but for the most part I get full coverage with 1 pump of this foundation, and it just really quickly sets on my skin and adheres to the skin, and it is budge proof. Like it doesn't move, and it feels really light on my face, and my skin just looks beautiful. I actually wore it in a Cover FX bronzer video, as well as a video about how to look younger. I was wearing this foundation. I think that might have been the first time I tried it, but I fell in love with it, and I actually kind of keep it tucked away, and this is one that I only want to pull out for special occasions for some reason. I try to hide it. It's like I hide it from myself. I don't want to run out of it. I just like it so much. This foundation cost $54. This shade is B70. I think that's another reason I really like this. It is a very great shade match. It's actually deeper than a lot of the foundations that I wear, but for some reason it just always looks really, really good on my skin. It just looks like skin on me. It says it's an all-natural matte, long-lasting foundation with buildable full coverage that helps blur imperfections without settling into pores, lines, and wrinkles. And I would agree. And it does have SPF 20 in the foundation. Highlighted ingredients are black tea antioxidant complex. Combats the visible signs of dullness and fatigue while protecting skin from pollution. This was all the rage, I think, a few years ago, and I don't necessarily hear everyone talking about it now, but it is a beautiful foundation. I will pump this on my skin so you can see. So it is a little bit deeper than a lot of what you will see me wear, but you will notice here it will disappear on my hand. And it's definitely perfect in the summertime, but I can wear this all year long, and I just kind of highlight. It just looks beautiful. And it just sort of, and it smooths everything, and it looks very skin light, and I love it. So this is my number 5 foundation. My number 4 foundation is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation, and I wear the shade 9.5. I have repurchased this foundation. That was another thing I kind of thought about, is have I repurchased it or would I repurchase it when I was determining my favorites? And this one is a remarkable foundation. It always looks great on my skin. This has a lot of skincare ingredients. So here we go. This is the Magic Foundation, and see how it has more, like it brings out the golden hue in my skin. So it is a very perfect kind of year-round shade for me. It works when my skin is deeper. It works when I'm also lighter. So the shade is absolutely perfection. I just feel like when I wear this one, my skin looks perfect. So this one is $44. 9.5 says golden yellow for deep skin tones with warm golden undertones. And I'm more of a neutral undertone girl, but whenever I wear a foundation that is geared more towards golden undertones, I always love how it looks. I always love it. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitate to this. It says it's medium coverage, but the coverage always works for me. I'm always able to get the coverage that I like. It is a long-lasting, medium buildable coverage foundation with a demi-matte finish and SPF 15 to protect the skin. But one of the things about this particular foundation is it has some skincare in it. Lots of skincare, I believe. It says it's a miracle in a bottle, perfect for all skin types and tones. This award-winning weightless formula offers medium buildable coverage for everything from minor imperfections to more full coverage skin concerns like acne and rosacea. It's got antioxidants in it to reduce the look of wrinkles, age spots, and discoloration. Concentrated mushroom extract improves firmness, tightens pores, and moisturizes. Supercharged vitamin C, and so on and so forth. So it tells you a whole lot of skincare ingredients that are in the Magic Foundation, but it just looks stunning. So every time I apply this foundation, I look in the mirror and I'm like actually noticing it and noticing myself and how gorgeous it looks on my skin. It always works for me. So this is one that I will continue to repurchase even if no one else is talking about it but me. I love it. This is my 3rd favorite foundation, and it actually had to grow on me. So I hate to even tell you guys about this one because it is quite pricey. My 3rd favorite foundation is the La Mer Foundation. And this says the Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation, and it has SPF 20 in it. And I actually have it in 2 shades. This one seems to be a little more neutral, but it is very light for me, but can definitely work in the winter. And this one is really more my shade. The first shade is Honey, and then the other shade is Amber. There are lots of shades in between now, but they were not there when I first bought Honey. They've added some shades since I purchased this one. So I'm going to just show you both of them just so you can kind of see the difference between the two. So this one worked for me for a long time. And see, it's lighter, but I was able to kind of blend it out and make it work. So that's Honey, all right? And then let's go in with Amber. I'm gonna use this finger here. So this is Amber. See the difference in the shade? So Amber is a better shade match for me. But this one seems, the other shade just seems a little more neutral. So I sometimes like wearing that one just because of the neutral qualities. They both, I think, are described as warm, but I see this one as more of a neutral shade and this seems more warm, but this one works. Now, I can tell in my viewfinder here that I'm getting a lot of reflectiveness. This just seems to smooth every wrinkle in my skin. Like, it doesn't settle into fine lines, or I don't know if it plumps the skin. I don't know what it does, but it just looks so pretty on. So it says it's a weightless, natural looking foundation with buildable coverage for luxurious long wear. Medium coverage, it's a natural finish for normal, dry, combination, and oily skin. And again, it has SPF 20 in it. It says this silky, lightweight formula helps maintain balance and provides buildable coverage. Skin is visibly plumped with hydration. See, told y'all. Fine lines and wrinkles look softened. They do. The look of pores and imperfections are diminished. They are. UV protection defends skin against future damage. This is a foundation that whenever I wear it on camera, I just feel like my skin looks so much better. And it's one that I'll say, huh, later on I'll watch it back and go, what was I wearing? And it'll be the La Mer. And I went through a phase where I wanted to wear it on camera all the time because my skin looked so beautiful whenever I was wearing this. I try not to wear it all the time now because it is so pricey. This foundation is $120. And again, at first I didn't love it. I couldn't see what was so special about it. But then the more I wore it and the more I looked at it, really looked closely, I could just see that a lot of the fine lines and wrinkles that might stand out with other foundations, just it doesn't stand out with this one. I like the way it smells as well. It does have a fragrance, but it's not overpowering. I really like this so much that I bought it twice. $120. I bought it twice. I try to alternate or mix them together so that I will actually use them both. When I empty these, I will repurchase. I will probably buy them during a sale because I bought both of these with my employee discount at the time. I'll buy it during the sale, but I will repurchase. My number 2 foundation is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. You get 1.18 ounces with this particular foundation. It is a little pricey. This one is $68. I like this one so much that I still keep it in the box, and it is the shade 18. It is a little light for me, but it was the shade that was selected for me when I chose it on Sephora's website. This should not surprise you guys because I talk about it all the time, and not everybody else loves this. There are many, many shades to select from, far more than the Magic Foundation doesn't have that many, and La Mer. I'm not sure about YSL, but there are quite a few shades to choose from with the Pat McGrath Foundation, and a lot of them are deeper. She is a woman of color, so that makes sense. It is long-wearing, customizable foundation that builds from sheer to medium coverage and a wide range of universal hues that manifest the ultimate sublime skin standard. And it's for all skin types. And it's another one that has skincare ingredients in it. Unique polymers provide long-lasting wear, ultimate smoothness, and luminous finish. High purity pigments treated with amino acids deliver enhanced wear, a creamy feel, controlled and easily buildable coverage. Diamond core powder enhances radiance and skin luminosity and decreases appearance of skin imperfections, and so on and so forth. There's more. It talks about smoothing and blurring, and I would agree. I definitely think that it kind of adds a radiance. I would agree with that. And luminosity, it does make the skin look more luminous. It's a little bit more liquidy. You see how it runs there. And again, this one is a little lighter than what some of the others look like. It's about the same as my La Mer though. It's no different than that one. But notice how, again, see how reflective everything is with this one? So skin-like and also very reflective and just radiant. And maybe that's why my skin looks so blurred whenever I wear this one. This is one I find myself using a lot to film with. I either use it alone or mix it with other foundations because of that smoothing, blurring property. But I also grab it a lot. Like this one is a special one. I just like to wear this whenever I can, but I don't want to wear it all the time. I don't want to use it up. To me, it gives me my skin, but better. But that blurring, radiant piece of it just makes it look gorgeous. It just gives you beautiful skin, not necessarily just beautiful foundation. It gives you very beautiful skin. So I find myself reaching for this so much whenever I am wanting to wear something more special. I will put this on. I either wear this a lot when I'm filming because of how good it looks on video and it looks good in pictures. But if I am going somewhere where I don't want to look like I'm wearing too much makeup, but I want to look just beautiful and it's a special occasion, I will also grab this one then. So I just love how this looks on my skin. It is a go-to staple foundation that I will repurchase. I have only purchased this one. It has lasted me forever, but I will buy it again. I use it all the time, so I'm just waiting. The packaging is stunning, and it's a frosted bottle, and I can't tell how much I have left, but I have a feeling it's going to be finished soon, but I will repurchase it again because it is gorgeous, and I love it. I just love it. And it's my number 2 foundation. My final foundation surprises me. It doesn't surprise me now, but there was a time I did not like this foundation. My number 1 foundation of all time, yes, is the Double Wear Foundation by Estee Lauder. I'm shocked. There is a foundation that I used to talk about all the time. I've tried not to even do honorable mentions today because I really want to just stick to my 5 foundations, but there was a foundation that I wore all the time by Makeup Forever, and I've mentioned it here on my channel. I wore that foundation so much. It was my number 1 forever, and it didn't even make my list because I have tried so many foundations that made a lasting impression on me since that one, but it is also one that is a must-have in my collection that I will continue to repurchase. I've repurchased that one a couple of times, and I will continue to buy it. Within the last year, I have used these foundations more, so I didn't put that one on the list, but it was really tough not to. And this one shocks me because I first tried this foundation in a different shade, and I did not like how it wore. I didn't like the shade. I didn't like it. I kept hearing about it and everyone loved it, and I went back in store and I got someone to help shade match me, and I found a shade that I liked better, and it was actually one of the newer shades that they came out with. They just didn't have my shade, and once they came out with the shade, we were in business. The pump is dirty. I can't get that off. I will probably buy a new pump with the next bottle of foundation, but this one does not come with a pump, so you have to purchase the pump separately. This is a deeper color than some of the foundations that I wear, and it's a little bit warm. This is the shade Cinnamon, and it's sort of like the YSL foundation and even my Dior foundation, that once you put it on and it locks in place, it is set. What's different with this one and several of the others is the full coverage. I don't see my veins at all shining through with this one, whereas with some of these others, I can still see my veins in my hands. This actually covers everything. Maybe why I like it, because it's actually full coverage, and a lot of those are medium buildable coverage. So I really like the coverage of the foundation, but it's one of those shades that is a perfect shade match for me and always looks amazing. So I think the reason that I am choosing this one is it's got everything. Look at the number of shades here. Okay, it has so many, it has way more shades than any of the others, and it is more affordable than several of the others. It is $43. It might be the cheapest one of everybody. It has higher ratings. It is liked by more people, and it says 24-hour liquid foundation with a flawless natural matte finish that unifies uneven skin tone and covers imperfections with buildable coverage. It is a full coverage matte foundation. It's good for a combination of oily skin. It's available in over 55 shades. The Double Wear is not going to give you all the skincare benefits. I'm not seeing that in the description, but it is a solid foundation that is not going to budge and you're going to look amazing. It just depends on what your needs are. It's got the full coverage. It looks immaculate on your skin. It lasts all day with the face mask. This is the foundation I have been wearing underneath the face mask the most that has performed better than anybody else. I actually filmed a video with this and my Dior Skin back when I wore Dior Skin before it was discontinued, and this one I liked better as far as how it looked at the end of the day. I kind of did my face in half. I like this foundation better than Dior Skin, and I was really surprised because I had been loving the Dior Skin forever, and then I tested it against this and this performed better. So it is going to perform better on my skin, and it just looks so beautiful on the skin, and the shade match is wonderful. You can't go wrong with this Double Wear. If I need my foundation to last and to stay on and I need everything covered, this is the one I'm going to reach for. So when this runs out, and I think that I'm getting close to the end on this one too, I will be repurchasing it again. The Double Wear in Cinnamon is my #1 foundation. So those are my top foundations as it relates to my favorite foundations, my #1 overall foundations. But there may be another list of foundations floating out there at some point, as there are some others that I really do like that I didn't get to talk about today that I still want to talk to you all about. So eventually we might get back to those. One person mentioned wanting to see my favorite limited edition and discontinued products, and I actually thought that might be an interesting video. So let me know down below what you would like to see me film next, and if that one sounds like something that would be fun as far as my top 5. This was so much fun, but it was so hard. So that concludes my video for today, and I hope that you all have enjoyed it. Be sure to leave me a comment down below letting me know what top 5 video you would like for me to film next. Also tell me, what are your favorite foundations? I'd love to know. Might be some shopping in my future. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will respond. And if you've not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button before you leave. So I'll be seeing you guys again very soon in my next video. So until the next time we meet again, this is Savvy signing out.